Good evening and welcome to United View. It's our live preview of the whole game. Thank you for watching. Make sure you tweet along at United View and subscribe and use the chat box with fellow United fans. Lots to talk about tonight, including these Hummels revelations which are currently coming out. Apparently he has told United he'll be staying at Dortmund, according to the Dortmund CEO. We'll come back to that. We'll talk about the Player of the Year awards, and we'll also talk about the whole game, which of course is our final game of the season this weekend, and it has sour consequences for Hull City as well. So we'll come on to that in just a second. First of all, let's introduce you to our panellists. On the show tonight, making his United View debut, we've got Alex Simmons. Alex, how you doing, mate?
I'm good, mate. Very well. Nice to be on the show.
Yeah, cheers for coming on, mate. Of course, you do some writing, don't you, for A.F.C. latest news? I mean, what's it like talking about United in front of the camera instead of writing it down into a blog?
I don't actually write for A.F.C. latest anymore. Do a bit for Red Mank instead. But yeah, it's obviously a bit different putting it out your mouth rather than writing it down. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, obviously two great vlogs there. I've got mixed up a little bit. But yeah, no, great to have you on with us, Alex. Thanks for coming on. Also on this evening, our regular for the preview show, usually on with Aidan and Tom. Joey DeBoer, all the way from the US of A, is with us. Joey, how are you doing?
Good, depressed that this is the last game of the season, but excited for next season.
Yeah, I can't wait either. I'm so excited about next season. And also on the show tonight, the United man himself, Sati. Sati, how you doing, mate?
I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, all good, mate. Thank you for coming on. Right, let's get started. And Sati, we'll start with you. Some revelations coming out this evening. Apparently, Zorc, the Dortmund CEO, has said in tomorrow's version of Kicker or Kick or something similar, a German magazine, that Hummels has told Manchester United he'll be staying at Dortmund. Did you think he would sign for us?
Yeah, I thought Hummels was a done deal, especially with all the rumours circulating from the newspapers, especially considering the fact that it was all done at once, and all the reporters coming out at once and saying it was done. And I'm pretty good because I think he's a world class. He is a world class centre back, and if he isn't going to be signing for United, I think there is other options, but I don't think they'll be as good. There's Otamendi, Varane, there's other players, but Hummels, I think he was, I thought he was done, but I don't understand why he would stay at Borussia Dortmund, especially considering the fact they don't have any Champions League football. Klopp's leaving. Some of the other players, Gundogan, maybe Marco Reus could be leaving as well. So it's a bit of a strange one for me. I just don't understand how he, would want to stay. Maybe they've got a new manager lined up, a quality one. I don't really know, but it's a strange one. But there are other options for me.
Yeah, Joey, did you think Hummels was done? Would you have liked to have seen us sign Hummels if this story is true?
Well, if you had asked me last summer coming off the World Cup, it was an absolutely no-brainer. Great World Cup, fantastic leader, fit the bill for everything we needed. But he hasn't had the best of seasons, has he? So I'm not as depressed now if this rumor is true. But then again, it is a rumor, so we'll see how it goes. But what was I going to say? Yeah, he hasn't had the best season, so I'm not, as depressed. But I thought it was a done deal, like Sati said. Like last year with Luke Shaw, we were linked all year, and you just, it was a done deal. You knew it was coming. So I kind of thought that about Matt Hummels, but I think there are better options out there. Like I said, he hasn't had the best season, so the new manager must have come into Dortmund, put his arm around him, and said, I want you to be my guy next year. Stay. You're the captain. You're our leader. What is that saying if you leave? So I'm not as upset as I probably would have been last summer, but he's still a quality player. But Otamendi looks the better option, and there's rumors that one's done.
Yeah, I mean, we'll comment on that in a second as well. But Alex, first of all, let's come over to you, mate. What do you make of this Hummels rumour? I mean, it's been going on and on since last summer. We dead cert to sign him and Gundogan apparently in a double deal with Dortmund this summer. Is he a player you would have liked to have seen at United?
It's a bit of a strange one, isn't it? It's a lot of a done deal sort of since last summer. He's 26 now. No Champions League football. It is a strange one. He wouldn't want to move on to a so-called bigger club. Rumours of Klopp going to City as well. So I possibly thought the last few weeks he might actually try and join him here if that was the case. And with Joey a bit there as well. He hasn't had the best of seasons. I think pace-wise he might struggle in the Premier League, to be honest. He's quite slow on the turn. As we all know, the Premier League's a very fast-paced, probably much quicker than it is in Germany. So he could well struggle there. But again, I would be disappointed because he's that commanding presence. He's done it all. He's won the World Cup. I feel we got the good defenders in Jones and Smalling, but they need that sort of commanding presence next to them, and he would be sort of that big name player that we sort of craved since Vidic left, basically.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. He's that leader, isn't he? And we lack in a leader in defence there. Of course, Smalling's sort of taking it on, but Smalling hasn't really got that experience, has he, as of a Hummels or of a Vidic. But Vidic did learn his trade at United, didn't he? Did learn his trade at United. Sati, we'll come over to you, mate. The Otamendi rumours, of course, are now breaking. Apparently, according to Ole, who's a Argentinian news site, I take it, Otamendi to United is apparently done. There's a preliminary agreement. Something's going on there. Do you think he would be the better choice to Hummels?
Like Joey said, I think he hasn't had the best season. So going off this season, of course, I think Otamendi scored. I think it's about 4 or 5 goals this season. Him and Smalling at the back. This year Smalling's goal scoring record. But I think he would be a good option. I don't know if he'll be a better option because Hummels has still won a World Cup. It's just going off one season. I'm not too sure if it's going to be a clear-cut choice for us. But Otamendi, he's got a lot about him. He's physical. He's got speed as well, and the Premier League's very fast-paced. So it'd be an ideal replacement. But Hummels, I would rather go for Hummels, but I just can't see it happening, especially when the CEO's come out and said he's not going to go and he's snubbed United. At least it showed that we've showed interest for him, and we are going for the big up boys. So I think it's some kind of progress, but I would like to get Hummels. But if not, Otamendi's a great replacement in my eyes.
Yeah, I mean, it's a weird one. Mohamed says, I never thought Hummels was going to sign for us anyway, but we shouldn't have high hopes. Lou Van Gaal knows who he wants to sign. We'll see what happens in the summer. Hello to Don't Forget, who's also in the chat box. Feed Kib, who's in there as well. Hello to Henry. Apparently, Feed Kib said he's also made of glass. Check his injury record. Yeah, I mean, it's hard to find a player who doesn't struggle with injuries nowadays, though, isn't it? It's really difficult. Joey, we've spoken to you a lot about players who have injuries this season. Do we need to stay away from the sort of injury-prone players and go for someone with a clean record?
Yeah, but I mean, you can't base it all off of that. I know Hummels does have a lengthy injury record, but so does Phil Jones and Chris Smalling. But Chris Smalling has seemed to turn the corner on that the second half of the season. And I don't know how many games he missed through injury this season, but Chris Smalling has played really well throughout the season. So I don't think that should be the main thing. I mean, a couple weeks ago I was talking about Gundogan coming off that major spine injury, and I said I didn't want him because look at Falcao, he's coming off a knee injury, and you could just tell he's struggling for fitness. He's not fully fit. His knee is letting him down, and that's affecting him in his mind that he's not able to do the things he used to be able to do. There's other central midfielders out there I would rather have than Gundogan. He would probably be 4th, 5th, 6th down on my list, especially with the injury. He's a little overweight. But there are center backs out there other than even Otamendi. Laporta's one of them. Varane, in a swap deal with De Gea. There's other options. And if Jones and Smalling are going to be that rock, and you wanted to get somebody who has Premier League experience, but it's not too going to unseat them, you could also look at a Vertonghen from Spurs. There's other options out there other than Hummels and Otamendi. So I don't think people should put all their eggs in one basket.
Yeah, no, that is completely true. And obviously with us, by the looks of it, needing a goalkeeper, who knows, a double deal from Spurs might even happen, even if it's not Dortmund. Alex, in terms of a centre-back target, should we definitely be looking for that centre-back? Or do you think maybe there's other areas on the pitch? And if so, what centre-back should we be looking at?
I don't think our defensive situation is as bad as people make it out to be. It's not brilliant and it's not good enough to win the league, but I think we've got the 3rd, 4th best defensive record in the league now. Smalling's shown in the second half of the season that he's more than sort of capable. I'm a big fan of Marcus Rojo as well. I think he's had a great season. With a season under his belt next year, he could well sort of push on. But like I said earlier, I do think we need that command in centre back. It's difficult. Hummels was the obvious choice. Otamendi, I think he's had a good season at Valencia. As Joey said, he's got that bit of pace that you need sort of in the Premier League. But the Premier League is a completely different league. Sort of in Spain, you play with sort of lower league teams, and they seem to sort of drop off a bit, stand off, and sort of let you play in front of them. Premier League sort of end to end. It's a different ball game. In terms of other targets, I'm not really that sure, to be honest. As I say, there's not too many world-class centre backs out there and available. And in terms of other areas of pitch we need to be looking at, I think we're crying out for a striker, to be honest. Take our chances and finish off games.
Yeah, No, and of course, you saying that as well, Alex. Arsenal today, drawing with Sunderland. If we'd beaten them, who knows what it was? And we was talking before, our probably error in that game against Arsenal wasn't our defence. It was more, it was more us not finishing chances, wasn't it?
No, exactly. If we'd have won that game on the weekend, we'd still be going in with a shout for third on Sunday. We could still do it on goal difference, but we probably haven't got enough to score 7 or 8 goals at the moment. The problem lies there isn't really a world class striker out there that's available to your head. Possibly people with Cavani, but we've tried it with Falcao, and he hasn't sort of been, the right sort of gravy for us, has he?
Yeah, no, that is true. That is true. Well, we're just going to have to. This summer is going to be so interesting, isn't it? This summer is going to be one of the biggest transfer windows, not just for us, but for the Premier League in general. Oh, it's going to be brilliant. Sati, let's come over to you. Let's look ahead to that whole game, shall we? Oh, actually, no. First of all, let's talk about Player of the Year awards. It's just come to my mind. Of course, last night. Did you enjoy Louis van Gaal's antics?
Yeah, that speech that showed how much passion he had. It was quality to watch, and he made every United fan laugh when we were watching it. And he was speaking like he wanted to be here. Not like that Moyes where he didn't know what he was doing. He was clueless. He didn't show any passion. And LVG, the guy, he showed it yesterday. And the fact that he slapped Giggs on the head when he outbid him, it was just good to watch, and it was a good entertainment. And the fact that he's really getting to terms with United, and at the beginning of the season, even said, at the beginning of the season when we were getting bad results, and he said the fans are amazing, they stuck by him. How is this possible? And he's come to realization that the club is massive, and it's good to watch. And LVG, I think he'll get it right in the end. Next season I can see us, really challenging if we buy the right players. But yesterday it was quality to watch.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. And Joey, I'm going to come with you with the most obvious question out of the night, and I've got to ask it with you ahead of the whole game. Should we give Louis van Gaal an unlimited supply of wine on the touchline at every single game?
For comedic value, absolutely. It was nice to see him, kind of let loose after, I'm sure his first season wasn't what he wanted it to be. It was still...
Oh, Joey, you've lagged on us a little bit there. I was looking forward to that response as well. I spent all day coming up with the most relevant question to a drunk Louis van Gaal, and Joey's gone and lagged out on us. Alex, let's come over to you, mate. Of course, him and the players were probably a little bit tipsy after that, but it was great to see them all upbeat and all happy, wasn't it?
Oh no, what a speech, to be honest. First of all, could you imagine David Moyes doing anything similar last season? I think it would probably be pretty damn awkward. It's in terms of, yes, he definitely but the passion and he gets Man United, and he thrives being at the club. Just imagine if we won the title next season. The speech. I think it'd be a sort of three-day bender in Manchester Town Hall, and. Can you imagine next season we have a crunch sort of title game, playing Manchester City 3 games before the end, got a big game? Just imagine his talk in the dressing room, because if it's anything like that, the players are bound to be up for it.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. To be honest, I've got to say, on the Louis van Gaal situation and what you've just said then, people wonder why this man is about 20 times better than David Moyes. I think that just proves it. I mean, his spirit, his just whole persona, how enthusiastic he is. For him to stand up there and go, look, after the season we've had, we are close to being champions, just shows his mentality, doesn't it? I mean, Sati, going into the whole game, what do you expect his mentality would be? Of course, Hull have to win, regardless of the Newcastle result. Do you reckon he'll respect the relegation battle, or do you think that he will go with a younger side?
I think he might have to respect it because, look at the teams that we've lost and drawn to this season. I think he's underestimated the Premier League a bit less than he expected because, away trips to QPR, Burnley, Swansea, for instance, Leicester. Look at them games. I think he would probably be going into them full of confidence and think, that's an easy 3 points for him. But I think he's come to terms with the Premier League, and I think he'll respect it a lot more. And I think on Sunday, I think he'll start playing not a strong team, but not a weak team. I think he'll be in between with a few youngsters in there and some world-class players in there, like Di Maria. I think he'll get a run out. Hopefully he does. But yeah, I think Van Gaal he's going to be ready for the Premier League next season. I can see it because this season he didn't have to go after the best starts, and I think he's starting to get to grips with it, especially considering the fact that he lost to teams that he wouldn't expect it to. So it's a real wake up call for him, and I think he's got it there right for me.
Yeah, I mean, next season is going to be an exciting one for us all, isn't it? Because obviously we will see players with a full pre-season. Herrera will have a full pre-season. Marcus Rojo, full pre-season. Shaw has been omitted from the under-21 squad, so he's going to have a full pre-season. I mean, Alex, is this just a game we need to get out of the way now?
With the Arsenal result tonight now, it's a pretty meaningless game. It's going to be a bit of a party away end, sort of in United end this Sunday, so I'm looking forward to that. But again, it might be a good chance to see a few players. I'd definitely start James Wilson. I'd be surprised if he doesn't go out on loan next year, but it's a great chance for him again to show what he can do. I think he grabbed 2 goals at home to Hull last year in the last home game, so it'd be good to give him another chance. As for next season, I can't wait for it. Our record against sort of the top 4 big teams this season fills me with optimism. And if he can get it right and sort of learn how to break down the so-called lesser teams in the league, then some of the football we have played this year has been brilliant, and it could be a really special season.
Yeah, no, that is true. And Sati, we'll come over to you. Obviously, we just mentioned James Wilson starting there, which I've got to agree with. Would you make other changes this weekend with more first-team players like Van Persie, a Falcao, a Januzaj, maybe even a McNair, a Blackett?
I think, I would make a few changes. The team I would play, I don't know about De Gea, but because he may have picked up an injury and may keep him out for the game. I'm unsure about that because people have been saying it's a fake injury. I doubt that's possible, but I don't think he'll be fit enough. I'll go with Valdez in goal because get him some game time. If De Gea is going to leave and Valdez is there, might as well play him for the last game of the season. I would give McNair a chance at right back because I think whenever he has played there, he's played well. And Smalling and Blackett at centre half because I think Blackett, that own goal may have dented his confidence. Give him a chance again. Smalling, the leader, he's been absolutely amazing this season. Rojo at left back, Herrera, Blind, and I'll drop Rooney into centre midfield because Hull are very physical, but they've got a bit of technical ability about them, especially in the likes of Huddleston and Abel Hernandez as well. So I think they've got some technical ability in them. And on the wings, I'll start Young because he was amazing for the last couple of games, especially against Palace and Arsenal. And Di Maria on the other flank because I want him really to get into the Premier League, and I can't wait for him next season to be absolutely on fire. And Wilson up front because I think he deserves a chance.
Yeah, and of course he's got pace, which is devastating. He can play to the right or to the left, and we can play Van Persie straight up front. So changes ahoy. I mean, Alex, would you play Rooney? I mean, he's struggled with an injury to get into the last game. So should we just give him an early holiday, or is it important to play our captain this weekend?
I think if he's near enough fit, there's no harm playing him. Obviously, there's no sort of international tournament this summer he's got to worry about. But is there really any point risking him? We don't want to niggle an injury to carry on next year. It's a meaningless game at the end of the day now. Give James Wilson a start. Maybe chuck Piero in midfield. He signed that new contract. Won the under-21 Player of the Year last night. So why not give that lad a go and give Rooney the day off?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about Pereira because I think I'm not 100% on this. Isn't he away with Brazil? I think.
He is, yeah, because he was on. Apologies, yeah, he was on the on a video stream last night.
Yeah, no, I didn't know personally, but no, yeah, I've got to agree. Pierre, I would love to have seen Pierre play. To be honest, it's a shame that that he's with Brazil. I mean, Sati, let's come to you. What would your starting lineup be?
Oh, the team right out. I'm thinking about it because thinking about it, Blackett maybe could dent his confidence in the sense that that own goal, it could hurt him a bit, but I think Jones could replace him easily because Jones, him and Smalling need to get a run. If them two are going to be playing in, if Jones is going to be squad player next season, like Champions League, so maybe he could start. And I think talking about Rooney, it could be a big risk playing him because he has come back from an injury. I think it's just a dead leg, but still can be a bit of a problem. So I'll probably in his place, I'll probably give Fellaini a go because like I mentioned, they have got some physical players in the likes of Tom Huddleston, Hernandez. They have got a bit of technical ability about them. So I think Fellaini would be a perfect fit in that midfield three of Blind, Herrera, and Fellaini. Then up Up top, I'll go with Di Maria, Wilson, and Young. But Wilson, as you mentioned, he can play on the left and right, so that does give an option for Van Persie or even Falcao if people want to see him play. But I think that wave goodbye showed it all. It's sad to see, but but Wilson, he's got real talent and he can play in many positions. So yeah, I think that'll be my team with Valdez in goal.
Yeah, I mean, Di Maria has to play, doesn't he, this weekend? He just has to get a game under his belt. That or he needs to go on holiday immediately. I mean, what's the point in having him on the bench? It'd just be stupid, wouldn't it? Alex, what about you? What would your starting 11 be?
Starting 11. Unless De Gea is actually completely fit, I think obviously Valdez is going to be going goal. Be interesting to see how he does. I've seen him a few times in the 21s. He hasn't looked convincing. I'm still not sure he came out of his goal too early on Sunday, and if he had stayed on his line, you never know, he might have saved that. So yeah, Valdez in goal. I think you have to go small in at centre back, and I think I'd continue Jones with him. The two have done all right lately. I don't see any reason to really change it. If Shaw's fit, obviously I think I'd give him a go at left back, try and get his confidence up ready for a new season. If he's not, no reason why Rojo can't continue. Valencia right back, it's been a given all season, to be honest, and again I see no real reason to change it. Central midfield, I think Brin's got to go in there, sit in front of the defence again. As I said, I would have played Pereira alongside him, but that option's not there again, so I think it comes down to probably Fellaini alongside him. Di Maria, I would definitely get into a team this season. Still yet to be seen whether he'll be off in the summer. I hope not, and maybe another game in United shirt, get a bit of his confidence up. It might sort of put him into staying. As I said, I play James Wilson up top, and then I would play Young on the right or left of him, because Young's been, for me, our player of the season this year after De Gea. What a season he's had. Shame he's 30 now, to be honest, because he's going to run out of pace in about 2 years. And on the other side, I think I'd give Januzaj a game. He looked a bit sort of out of sorts at the prayer award dinners last night. Didn't look, he looked like he maybe possibly wants a move away this summer. So give him a go and sort of see what he can do. Maybe force a move somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to agree. People just commented in the comment box about Mats Hummels, and I'm reading some tweets now. Apparently, this quote might not even be true. There's a quote similar on Kicker, or whatever that website is called, that was first released in 2013. So there's some rumours going around that it might actually be an old quote, which the Dortmund fans are going off on about. I hate Twitter when rumours come out, but now Janug Fortov is quoting that apparently in Kicker tomorrow that Hummels has turned United down and will stay in Dortmund. Who knows? There's a summer full of fun. But no, let's carry on with Hull. The guys giving their starting line. Should I give mine? I'll go Valdez in goal. I'd also go, if Raphael's fit, I'd play Raphael. Why not? I'd give him a game. But if not, Valencia. I'd go with Smalling and Jones centre back. Left back, I'd play. It's a weird one, this. I'd probably play Rojo again. Shaw won't be fit, so we'll go Rojo. In midfield, I'll go with Herrera, Blind, and Mata. I just, don't play Fellaini. Give Mata a chance in number 10. And then I will play Wilson, RVP, and Di Maria up front as a front three. Get Wilson further towards the right, where he came on against Arsenal, wasn't it? Earlier on in the season, he played there when he came on against Arsenal at the Emirates. An explosion of pace. Super Saiyan says, I hope Januzaj starts on Sunday. And Dwayne J says, yes, I'd love to see Januzaj and Wilson have a game. If not, Sati, we expect them both to come off the bench, don't we?
Yeah, Wilson and Januzaj, two quality players. But I just think the loan situation with them, I want to see Wilson stay at the club, and because I think he can develop a partnership with either Rooney or Van Persie on the wing, because he can play that position. So it'll be interesting next season whether he gets a sniff at the first team or he'll be shipped off on loan. Probably, I think Januzaj will go on loan because the likes of Depay, Di Maria, Young, he's been amazing. So I don't think it'd be unfair to sell him, and Mata also can play on the right hand side, so I can't really see Januzaj getting a sniff at the first team. He'll probably go on loan to Everton or something like that, and we won't see him again because that's what happens with most of our loan players. We don't see him after. So it'd be interesting to see. Likes of Zaha, he went, and it's interesting, but Wilson, I want to see him given a chance because he's got so much talent. He just needs to run 4 or 5 games. You've seen it against QPR at Loftus Road early in the season. He scored a goal and he made an assist for Fellaini, and he's got something about him which many people don't really seem, other football fans. So I think we have a star in Wilson for sure.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. I want to see a lot more of Wilson. He's a quality footballer. To be honest, it's weird because the other footballer I want to see a bit more of last pre-season and this season is Tom Thorpe, and he hasn't even had a run in. We expect him to leave the club in the summer. He's someone who's given a lot at under 21 level. Alex, do you think the whole coming through the ranks myth is kind of going a little bit because Tom Thorpe's one of them. He's given he's 23 now. He's given so much service to the under 21. So is that a bit of a worry? Do you desperately want to see someone achieve?
It is a bit. I think I heard on MUTV last night he's our most decorated under 21 player. Like he's won numerous amount of medals with them because obviously, as you say, he's 23 now. He's still playing at under 21 level. I think at the start of the season, like everyone else, when I sort of saw we were short of defenders, I thought, well, here's Tom Thorpe's chance. But obviously, Paddy McNair came from nowhere. Blackett had an outside choice, but I'm still surprised he got sort of picked over Tom Thorpe. It's not so much a worry though, because it isn't like Van Gaal hasn't given people a chance. Paddy McNair, no one would have thought he'd have played the amount of games he has done this season. He started at the Emirates, I think. Who would have thought that a few months before? So I think with United, as it always has been, if you're good enough, you'll get the chance. And if you get the chance and you are good enough, then you'll make it. Possibly Tom Thorpe, the fact that he spent the whole season in the under-21s, maybe Van Gaal doesn't rate him, so he could well be off this summer.
Yeah, no, that's true. Well, let's come to you guys and get your score prediction. Then maybe we'll go on to some questions from people watching. Tweet us at the United View if you have any questions for Alex and for Sati, or use the comment box. Subscribe. We'll come to you. Don't forget. And also Super Saiyan. We'll come to you in just a moment. First of all, lads, what are your score predictions for the whole game and goal scorers? Sati, we'll start with you.
I'm going to go with a 2-0 victory. I think it will be tight, and I don't think Hull have got enough to break us down in the fact that, their goal scorers, Jelavic is a top goal scorer, and Abel Hernandez are not far away, so I don't think they've got enough to really break our defence down. It's not as poor as it's been, but as shaky as it's been in times this season. I don't think they could really score a goal, and, if De Gea is fit, I don't think there's a chance really, but the goal scorers I'll probably go with. I want to see Wilson score because if he is given a chance, I'm without a doubt, because he did score a Spurs United goal against Hull at Old Trafford. So I think if he does start Wilson, and I'll probably go with Di Maria because I want him to really get to grips with the Premier League and for next season and be ready.
Yeah, a nice goal would do his confidence a world of good going into his holiday, wouldn't it? And a win. Alex, what about you? Score line and goal scorers?
I generally think it could go anywhere with this game. As I say, Hull are desperate to win this game. If Hull can sort of keep it tight for 60, 70 minutes, I think it could, easily end 0-0, 1-0 to them. But if we get an early goal, I think Hull could well crumble. I'm going to say we'll get an early goal, so I'm going to say we'll go 4-1 to United. Goal scorers, Young, he deserves the goal. I think he's only got 2 this season, and he's had a great season. So Ashley Young one. I'll give James Wilson one, and in Mata and Herrera start. Mata will get a penalty, and I'll give Herrera one as well to keep up his good record. Spread the goals around a bit.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Well, actually, don't forget, agrees with you. He goes for a 3-1 though, but Wilson, Herrera, and Mata with the goals. Dwayne J goes with a 2-0. Mr. Stud's going 3-2. Andy Manser is going for a United 3-0 win. Mata 2 and Herrera 1. The lovely Spaniards with the goals. Dwayne J says his goal scorers are Mata and Davy Blind. Right, let's open up the questions to you guys. We do 5-10 minutes of just your questions. So send us anything at the United View or comment in the comment box. This is our final preview show of the season. We've got our final show of the season Sunday night at 10 o'clock, and then we are merging onto Stretty News TV. So this is your chance to ask us anything. Let's start with, don't forget, 123111. That's a really long name. Do you think Young will be in our starting 11 next season? Alex, what do you think?
There's a really good point. I was on about this the other day with one of my mates. On form, he deserves to be. he's been our best player the last 10 games. He's absolutely undroppable. I actually sat down in front of the south stand on Sunday. I don't normally sit, and as he came towards the Stretford end, there was 3 sort of Arsenal players stacked up against him, and how he got by them, I don't know. Brilliant bit of skill. With the pay coming on, obviously that's where the credit comes from. I think because his form's so good, it's great for Van Gaal because he can sort of ease the pay into the team. If we were short in that sort of area, then you'd have to put the pay straight in, and the pay may struggle. But he's got the whole sort of pre-season to now ease him in, and Young can sort of maybe rotate with him to start with. So I think he'll be good to start next season. Van Gaal's the sort of person that rewards players with their form, and builds trust for them. So I see no reason why he can't sort of carry on next season.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. Sati, what about you? Do you reckon Young would be in our starting 11 next season?
It's an interesting one because Young has played, terrific this season, and he was in contention for my player of the year because he's improved a lot this season. But I think with the addition, like Alex said, of Depay, it makes an interesting one because he is playing. Depay he's got bags of talent and he scores free kicks for fun. So it'd be interesting, but I can't see him starting for the new season because, like Alex said, he's got the pre-season ahead of him for Depay, so I think that may ease him into it, and I think Young would push for a squad rotation player, but I think he would get minutes coming off the bench, but I can't see him starting 11.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. And to be honest, that moves us on nicely to the next question from Don't Forget as well. What do you think our starting 11 will be next season? For me, I haven't made my mind up about goalkeeper. Every day this De Gea saga goes on, I want Petr Cech. I don't know why. He would just be perfect if we don't get a centre-back. To have that experience behind Smalling and Jones would just be lethal, even if we do not get a centre-back. And I don't think we will, to be honest. I don't think we'll land a centre-back this summer. But I'm going to go with Cech. I'm going to go with Klein. I still think that he will end up signing for us. I'm going to go with a Smalling-Jones combo. Shaw at left back. I'm going to go Herrera, Carrick, and Gundogan. I cannot see us not signing him now. And then I'm going to go Di Maria, Rooney, and Depay up front. Alex, what about you? What do you reckon? I mean, you don't have to go into a full 11. Just bits and bobs.
Bits and bobs. I think De Gea's off. So either Lloris in goal, but I'm pretty sure Spurs are going to demand a huge, stupid fee for him, to be honest. So I'm with you there, Cech in goal. I think I saw something about Cech's agent saying we might be his preferred club today. I'm also confident we'll get Klein, so I could see Klein at right back. Shaw's a given at left back. I think Smalling's a guaranteed starting out centre back, with his form lately. Alongside him, I'm still confident we will get Hummels, so I'm going to say we'll put Hummels in there. In the midfield, I think we need to base the team around Matt and Herrera. Whether he does that, I'm not sure, but I'd like to think that them two will be in the centre midfield. Alongside them, maybe it's Gundogan, if not Carrick. Whether Herrera and Gundogan could play together, I'm not so sure. Obviously, Depay is going to be maybe on the left-hand side. I'd like to think Di Maria will stick around. Up front, I think Rooney's obviously going to still be about, but are we going to be in the market for another striker? And if so, who will that be and will he start? I'm not so sure who it will be.
That's actually quite interesting. I had this conversation with Steve the other day, who usually on the Sunday show. What happens if we go out and buy a world-class striker? Where does that leave our captain? Where does that leave Rooney? Because surely we're not going to pay a stupid fee for a striker and then stick him on the bench. Yeah, I know we did with Falcao, sort of, but Van Gaal, if you remember the first 8-9 games, tried to play with 2 strikers. So where do we sort? That's for another show. That's for don't send me there yet. Sati, what about your 11 again? If you could do it quickly and sum up, bits and bobs.
Okay, I think De Gea's gone, so I'd probably go with Lloris because he has a clause in his contract that says if Tottenham don't get top 4, we can a club is allowed to come in from about 17 to 20 mil. So I think if that is activated and that's real, then Lloris for sure, but obviously Petr Cech. If not, right back Klein because I think that's a done deal. Centre back Smalling, and I'm gonna go with Hummels because I think it is. I think it can be done. And left back Shaw. He just needs time. Centre defensive mid, I think I'd go with Gundogan because I think he can play that role, but he's not that. He just needs a bit more playing in that role. So I think him, Herrera, and Mata. I think them two would be doing well there. Like I said, they've got that Spanish chemistry. On the left hand side, Depay, right, Di Maria, and up top, Rooney. But also, I want to see Wilson give a big chance.
I was going to say, it's interesting, isn't it? Because also another name no one is mentioning is Sami Khedira. He's up on a free transfer. I mean, he's a central defensive midfielder who can pass. He's a pass. He's a defensive midfielder. No one has mentioned him. For me, he should be on the top of our transfer list. Anyway, let's move on. This is from Sam Rafferty. Alex, we'll ask you two separate questions this time. But for you, Alex, can you see Nani at United next season? He said all the right things away, unlike Hernandez. So what do you reckon on the Nani situation?
Yeah, it's a good question. He's had a pretty good season for Sporting Lisbon. We all know Nani on his day, he was one of the best players in the Premier League. I think it was 2008, 2009 season. Was it 2010, 2011? He had the most amount of assists across the 2 seasons. So we all know what he can do. Van Gaal's obviously not a fan, otherwise he wouldn't have shipped him straight out on loan. He may give him a pre-season under his belt, but I think it's too late for him, to be honest. He's had his time at the club, so hit and miss. I think when you watch him play, the players around him get so frustrated with him, and I don't think Van Gaal can sort of risk easing him back into the team next season when we know we have to be challenging for that title.
Yeah, I mean, it is interesting because some of the games this season we've completely lacked a natural winger. And if we was looking for a squad winger, maybe Nani would be that player, but who knows. Let's come over to you anyway, Sati, and ask you a different question. Feed Kahib, we've kind of hit on it, but does Januzaj need a loan?
I think he does, yeah, definitely, because as a wingers that we have, Young, Di Maria, Depay, Mata can also play that role, and I think he can get a sniff, but I don't think Louis van Gaal wants him to be that kind of player that step up. And I think the number 11 shirts weighed a lot of pressure on him because his performances this season haven't been that good, and when he has been given a game, he just hasn't performed for me. And I think a loan move would do well. I just want to see him back at United after that loan spell because with our players that go on loan, we don't hardly see them after. So hopefully we do get him back, and he can be a real talent, but he just needs game time for me.
Yeah, no, that is true. Alex, let's move quickly on to another question. You can't see me too says who will not be in a United shirt next season? Oh,
De Gea, I think. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you now, mate. Go on.
Yeah, so De Gea, I think obviously he's off to Madrid. Johnny Evans has talked of a 10 million move away, and I'll drive him anywhere if we sell him. So hopefully he won't be in a United shirt. I think a lot of players have a few reasons to worry. Obviously Nani, Hernandez, I think will go. They'll come back from loan. I don't think they'll stay. James Wilson, I think will go out on loan. Januzaj will go out on loan. I can't see Falcao staying. If I'm honest, I wouldn't pay 5 million for him. I think he's absolutely done. And I also think Van Persie may be out the door. Is he 31 now? Do we give him 1 more year, or do we have to make room for another striker? Van Persie isn't going to play sort of third choice striker, is he? But I think under Van Gaal, the great thing is no one's safe, and he's ruthless, and he'll get rid of who he has to.
Yeah, no, I've got completely. It's interesting. I think it all depends on Falcao, on Wilson. What happens to them? Where will Van Persie go? Will we spend money on a new striker? What's happening with this? It's such an interesting summer ahead. Let's come over to you, Sati. Would you take Raheem Sterling at Manchester United? That's from Gretton123. Joey's shaking his head. Do you see that? Do you see that unapproving shake of Joey's head there off camera? I just saw his hat move. It was just like a... And then straight over to you, Sati. Go on, mate.
I may get slated for this, but I think I would take Sterling because he's got talent and he can do anything. I know he plays for Liverpool, but he's got talent, hasn't he? And especially considering the fact that he's plays for Liverpool and taking one of their players, who can just shut Liverpool fans up, especially with the amount of stick they gave us last season. So it'll be lovely to get one of them in. Plus the boy's got talent. There's no doubt about it. Especially I know us United fans don't like admitting it, but he's got amazing talent and I think he could be a real star for us. But I want to see him here, but he's a Liverpool player, so.
It's weird though because a player like Raheem Sterling has done really nothing this season. Let's be honest. It's been a bright spark in a poor team like Januzaj was for us last season, and he's demanding a club like Liverpool, to pay him 150k a week. He's just absurd. It's like Januzaj last season turning around and saying to Van Gaal as soon as he came in, "Look, I'm not staying unless you pay me 200k, to be at the club." It's just absurd to see a player like that demanding that sort of money. But no, as you said, he's talented. Let's come over to you, Alex, with the last question. Is it right for us to expect to pay to be the new Ronaldo, or should we be patient and see what he is like at the start of the season?
I think there's obviously expectation by the amount of goals he scored this season. I think he's top scorer in the Dutch league, which is absolutely amazing for a winger. And he's obviously he's got that bit of flair. He's got the free kick, so he's got all the similarities to Ronaldo. So I can see why the hype is, but I think we have got to be patient. We saw with Di Maria this summer. We thought we were getting, one of the best players in the world. We thought, he'd easily get us into the top 2 in the league. But it's not always the case. You just can't sort of judge. I know everyone says it, but you can't judge how hard sometimes it is for players to settle down. He's a young lad coming to Manchester, different city, different country. You can't underestimate those factors. He definitely has all the potential. His records this season speak for itself, but give a lad time, and I think maybe towards the second half of the season we'll really see sort of what player we've got on our hands.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. Hopefully next season we'll see what sort of player he is. Joey, let's come over to you, mate. Thank you for getting back on with us. We'll hit on a couple of points about the whole game with you before we end. We're talking about what sort of style we'll go into the whole game and what sort of attitude we'll have, whether we'll go with youth or experience. What would your starting lineup be for the whole game, Joey?
I think it'd be a little bit, I would go with De Gea in that. I think it'll be Raphael's last game. I know you were asking the other guy about players leaving. I don't know if you mentioned Raphael, but I would assume that Raphael's on his way out. So I'll give him a send-off. He's been here quite a while. He's had a history with us. It's a shame it didn't work out. But then I would go with, Smalling, Jones, Rojo, Blind, sort of the same team, but with Wilson up front. I don't think Rooney will be fit. Van Persie, will he be here? Falcao most certainly won't be here. So I think it'd be fun, to see what Wilson can do with some of the senior players. I would play Di Maria essentially, just because I've been saying that all season, and I would like it to happen once. Because I was thinking about when he was in the diamond, his best games came in the diamond to the central, a little bit to the left, where he was able to drift that wide. So yeah, I think it'll be a little bit of a relaxed game. I don't think they'll be trying to draw or lose. They'll be going out to get the win. It's unfortunate, but Hull's most likely going down. I don't see them beating us, so it is unfortunate. I don't want to see Brucey go down. And I was looking at their summer signings. I thought they had made some decent summer signings, but it was just too much overturn in their squad to keep them up, I think, to get any bit of consistency, kind of, like what we had, too much overturn. But we needed it, so, yeah.
Yeah, no, I've got to agree. And what about in terms of a scoreline and goal scorers? What are you expecting?
3-0. Ashley Young 2. James Wilson 1.
Yeah, would you start James Wilson as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, like I was saying, Van Persie, will he, won't he be here? You know what you get from Van Persie. Falcao's definitely not going to be here, and Rooney's not fit. So I think James Wilson would be a great shout to start. I want to see, I want to see more of him next season if he doesn't go out on loan. And I guess we'll know if we bring a striker in. I would most certainly think that James Wilson would be going out on loan. And to your thing earlier, Januzaj definitely needs a loan. And with Sterling, we already have a project winger. We don't need 2 of them. So Sterling does everything Januzaj does, and he's not. I think Sterling has a little bit of an attitude that I don't like. Januzaj seems to be quiet. Reserved, which I like about him. So yeah, I would never take Sterling. We don't need 2 project wingers.
Yeah, and why would we want Sterling when we're getting Bale? I mean, we're all forgetting. You're all forgetting. We're getting Gareth Bale. I mean, what's going on? Joey, thank you for coming on tonight. Sorry about the whole technical
technology and me.
Oh, I know, I hate it. Where can people find you on Twitter and stuff?
It'll be at Joey Tabor, and be doing a lot of things in the preseason I'm excited for.
Yeah, Stray News TV, make sure you get subscribed, and the relaunch happens Sunday after the final United View. Sati, where can people find you online?
On Twitter, the United Man _MU, and thanks for having me on.
No problem, mate. Thank you for coming on again and all season as well. Thank you to you and Joe both. And Alex, thank you for making your United View debut. Where can people find out more from you and read your stuff?
Yeah, no problem. My Twitter is Alex_Simo, and I do a lot of writing for Red Mancunian, so check out the website. And thanks for having me on.
No problem. Thank you for coming on, Alex. And of course, Alex, Joey, and Sati. Hopefully, we'll see more during the pre-season and from the new season on Straight to News TV. You have until just before the whole game to enter our Legends competition. You could win 2 tickets to go and see the Legends play at Old Trafford this summer. So get involved with that. The links will be up after the show. And check out at the United View as we end our final preview show of the season with a Come On United. And I couldn't think of anyone else better to do it than someone who has been on the preview show a lot, is from America. He's really hinted us with some technical difficulties this evening. So, Joey, for the final time, as the preview show regular, can we get a Come On United from you to end the show?
Come on, United!
Yes!